Tell me this. I mentioned I'm a big fan. It seemed to me a perfect fit that you would be in a Tim Burton movie. It's like Willem Dafoe and Tim Burton kind of go together. So
that's nice.
Had you spent a long time going, I hope Tim calls me at some stage. I'd love to be in one of his movies.
A little bit. I mean, when I see him, I tease him now that we've done something together. It's like, what took you so long? And yeah, no, because I've always liked his stuff. And it's not for me to say whether I'm right for it. It's just, I like his sense of humor. I like his aesthetic. He almost created a genre by himself. I mean, and he's an artist, a Tim Burton movie is a Tim Burton movie. Yeah. I mean, he's an author, and I'm attracted to those guys.
Sure.
Those guys and gals, because when you get there, you kind of inhabit their vision. It takes it away from you and kind of frees you up.
Yeah.
And you can have a good time and not just serve, the stuff but learn stuff.
Talking of having a good time, you play this ghostly character who was a B actor and takes the acting process very seriously. And there might be, rightly, that you're a very committed actor who takes things very seriously. I felt at times you were, in a very fun way, kind of winking at the camera.
Of course. It's a kind of a gag, we're taking... we're making fun of actors. We're making fun of masculinity, people in power, all that stuff. A certain kind of narcissistic, pretentious guy that doesn't realize how pretentious he is.
Yeah.
And that's fun to do, and it's a good exercise for us all.
Yeah, absolutely. You're known as a very committed actor, and I'm sure you agree with that. And I wonder, when you're committing to, I don't know, playing Jesus Christ or playing a character in a Beetlejuice movie, is it the same commitment?
More or less. I mean, every project has its different, you have to identify what the space is for you to contribute to. And of course, it's not the same, because to play Jesus Christ, it's hung on you. You're driving, it's hung on you. That's a heavy lift.
Yes.
In Beetlejuice, I'm part of an ensemble. It's a different style, and it's not to make a judgment about what's heavy and what's light or what's profound or what isn't. You always just have to find out what you're doing. A group of people are coming together to make something, and you got to figure out your part, your contribution, how you melt into the world. Yeah. So, in a way, of course, they're very different, but at the same time, your job is the same, and that is to be there for what's going on, and contribute to make yourself available, to find something out, to make something.
There is a picture someone put on Twitter yesterday, that social media stuff. But the only reason I bring it up is they said, doesn't Willem Dafoe look like Samuel Becket in this picture? And you did. Have people suggested that to you before? Obviously, I'm Irishing it up slightly.
People haven't, but I was the other day, I was growing something for something that fell through, So the other day, happily, I was growing a beard for a movie that I thought I was going to do, and then it's not happening, or it's shifting. So I was shaving the other day, and I got a haircut, and my hair was kind of sticking up, and I'm a little thin right now. So I looked, and I said, in 10 years, I could do a biopic of Becket. So it's not outrageous.
Yeah, wow, fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you're seeing it as well. You have a while to go yet, though. Don't get me wrong. 10 years.
I'm looking pretty craggy.
No, come. Tell me this. I want to stay on Beetlejuice, but I remember the hoopla in Dublin in 1988 when the
Last Temptation.
Came out. And it wasn't banned in Ireland. People think it was, because we're this crazy Catholic country, and it wasn't actually, which was quite a forward-thinking for Ireland at the time. But I have vivid memories of that time. Like, you do this movie, Scorsese, you go off and do a movie, and then maybe it's finished, and 6 months later, you're in this world of chaos, where, the Vatican and everyone's involved. Was that a stressful time in your life? Or is it just you did a movie?
No, that movie was very important to me, and I was distressed because, the controversy really blocked its distribution. I mean, it limited its distribution, and that was an important movie for me. And I thought it was also ridiculous in this, in a world of slasher movies and porn and all this stuff, that this is a movie about spirituality. It may not be, you may not like how the story played with, but it was, I think, the political controversy happened clearly. People didn't even see it. They just didn't like the idea that you mess with the story. It's that simple. And the curious thing was, everybody, yes, in a lot of Latin American countries there were problems, but it wasn't just the Catholic Church. Like in America, it was the religious right that found an opportunity to use this as a poster child to kind of round the troops up, And then it flipped into an anti-Semitic thing. It was very complicated, an anti-Hollywood thing. So it was painful, but at the same time, people think actors are a bunch of whores and they'll do whatever. So they don't hold me responsible. They held Martin Scorsese responsible. But I will say, in the controversy, down the line, there was one occasion where I was cast in something and the studio basically told the director he couldn't use me because they didn't like the idea that, they thought it might affect the movie's release to have this actor from Last Temptation in the movie. So it did affect me, but not greatly. I mean, I've survived it.
You certainly have. And you're in a great movie now, which will be much less controversial. Beetlejuice. Lovely to meet you.
Great. Okay, cool.